Okay, guys, I'm going to do a short video about the way we live at inmates that live at CCWF. This is the canteen list. And some of the stuff is hairspray is, try to focus in, $6, like 5. Really let me focus in? They're trying not to, but I'll tell you since they won't let me focus in. Hairspray is $6 for hairspray. That little cheap petroleum gel is like $192. The Tide detergent, a little small box. It's a very, if I can put my hand in the picture, it's about a little wider than my hand, about that high. It might be the same size of my hand, it's about that, $10 for Tide detergent. The coffee, $8 for a jar, a little small jar. Well, it's about a medium-sized jar, but it doesn't cost $8 in the street. Spam. Spam is $1.25, which would be a great price if it was a can. But it's only a small slice in a package, in a little pack. A small slice of Spam for $1.25. Japan sausages are some generics, and there are only a few in the bag. It's mostly liquid. The creamer is generic. It doesn't melt in your coffee, or whatever they say they give us is not coffee. It's some chicory or whatever it is. The sugar cubes, you know the small box of sugar cubes, they cost $2.60, and you have to buy that. You have to buy the sweeteners $1.25 because they don't give us sugar or creamer for that chicory that they say is coffee. Even if you buy coffee, this creamer doesn't melt, and they don't give us sugar or sweetener or any of that. So you have to make sure you buy that if you're there. They don't give us salt and peppers for the boiled eggs or baked potatoes, so you have to buy your own salt and pepper. Little thing of mine is $3.25. That little small peanut butter is almost $3. They only have one kind of cereal, and that's almost $4 for that little bitty bag. And you have to buy the powdered milk, and that's a small package. The tortilla shells, I think it's 10 in there, which costs $1 some on the street. They took it out of focus. It's like $2.30. But the noodles is a good price, $25. Because at West Valley, you pay $1.29 per pack of noodles, Roman noodles. What else did I check off? They have these nachos, that tortilla shells, that generic, and they're hard, and most people just buy them so they can crush them up and use them to make tacos and tortillas. Their own shells with. They only give us one flavor of potato chips. We used to get the shebangs, which were a hot, spicy chip, and they took those and gave us sour cream and onion. You only get one flavor ice cream, that little pint, I think, of ice cream, and it's $3. Now, the thing about this is, even though it's a very small list of items that the inmates can purchase, most of the time when you go to shop, they don't have these items. Now they know the inmates can only shop once a month. So I put it in the appeal form that I had some inmates sign. I didn't get a chance to put it in before I left, but I'm going to do a thing about all the appeals I put in. A video about all the appeals I put in. But this little short list, and like the only one flavor of potato chip, one flavor ice cream, one flavor this and that. And then they're out of those items all the time. So they make enough money off of us that they don't worry about the little money that we get to shop with. They rather us not shop. They're open. They're open. Canteen never open on Monday or Sunday. No, I got it sit down. They open on Tuesday, and it depends on what day of the week it is. First draw, you shop, and you shop once a month, And like I said, they're closed most of the time. Even on the days they're supposed to be open, they're closed. Now, in their Title 15 books that says rules and regulations, it said they're supposed to have times and dates posted on a window or door so the inmates know when they can shop. But they're never posted. And like I said, they open and close when they want to. Now, they say we get good medical attention. Let me do some first though. I've been waiting for over the wall closed for a week. Now, on a yard, they give you orange uniforms. And when you go to the other yards, you get transferred there, they give you blue uniforms. And they're supposed to give us like 3 pair of pants and 3 shirts. They give you 1 sweatshirt, but most of the time they're out of sweatshirts and no one give you sweatshirts. They're usually out of all the things. If you need panties, bras, they're usually out of that. And when you do get something, it's never your size. Never. Have I went to clothing and got my exact size? They gave my bras were too big, or it was always something. So I put this in about, and some of the inmates have been waiting longer than I have to get a change of clothes. So you would wear that 1 uniform for weeks and over weeks at a time. So I put this in 2 of 28, and then this was the priority to me. You receive your over-the-wall clothing on 3/21/19. So they don't give us clothes. This is 2/27/19. I put it in this request form. It says, I lost my spoon a week ago. And the people I have talked to say they are out and they are out and don't know when they'll get more spoons. How can you not have replacements? And don't tell me again, but that's what they kept telling me. You have to buy one. Don't tell me again I can buy one on canteen because I have no money coming in. How long will I have to go without a spoon? That was, again, 2/27/19. And this was their reply. Per R&R, you are issued 1 initial spoon. You will have to buy one on canteen when funds become available. Now I told them I have no money coming in. Or you can talk to staff or something saying about getting another one. And of course, I never got a spoon. And by the grace of God, one of the other inmates, because when they buy spoons and forks in the canteen, some of the inmates, when they leave them, and a girl I knew gave me a spoon. But if it hadn't been for that, I would have had to eat my food with my hands. Now, what bothers me, if we have these watchdog groups, they're supposed to be watching over the inmates, civil rights violations and stuff like that. And this one in particular, who I want to nail to the wall, is the prison law office. The prison law office, while I was at West Valley, had an article in the San Bernardino paper saying that they had won a lawsuit against these facilities March 28, 2018. And that they had won a lawsuit that said we would get better medical, better dental, we would get activities, we would be able to come out of our cells more often, because sometimes we're locked in our cells weeks at a time. And because they have no staff. The officers that will come, the conditions are so bad that they don't stay. They're always training officers, but they don't stay. So these things treat everybody bad. So like a holiday come up, Super Bowl game, and And Christmas, the officers don't come in. That means we can't come out of ourselves because we have no officers to watch us. Each unit has almost 300 women in it. They have 2 officers on each unit. So if there's only one officer, he can't control 200 to 300 women. So they say, when you wake up in the morning, today is modified. When they say modified, that means the officers didn't show up. When I first got there for Christmas, the officer didn't show up, so they only give you, I think I said that before, they only give you one 15-minute telephone call per month. So, for Christmas, we were modified, so the inmates weren't able to call their families and wish them Merry Christmas. Super Bowl, Father's Day, any holiday, the officers don't come in, so we're modified. Now, they work the officers. Most of the officers work 2 shifts because there's so few of them. And it gets to the point, if I was the officers, I couldn't sit there either. Because they work them so long and sometimes past that second shift. They work them so long that some inmates told me that one of the officers died because he fell asleep in his car going home. And another reason that officers don't say, if somebody doesn't show up, one day I heard of an announcement that they were looking for 10 officers. 20 officers hadn't showed up. So what they do to the officers, the one that's done the shift, and the other officers don't show up, you'll hear them say gate locking. When they say gate locking, that means they done lock the officers in the facility. The officers can't go home on emergency, they can't do anything. They done lock the officers in. So that's why a lot of them don't want to stay, because this happens so often, you'll hear gate locking. Even though these officers did 2 shifts already, they're locked in the prison. I would not work a job where you can lock me in. Won't let me go home. And like I said, for holidays, they just don't say nothing. They just don't come. They just don't show up. So, we're locked in. This is, now my thing with prison law office, as I said, they supposed to have one lawsuit in 2008 saying that the inmates had one civil rights violation lawsuit, and that they were getting money to monitor these prisons. And that we would get better medical, better dental, that things would change, that the lawsuit guaranteed we would get better treatment. Here it is. This appeal says, this 22, I've been waiting for some glasses since December, and this was in March. This is in March. I've been waiting for a doctor's appointment. When I got there in December, they said they set me up for an appointment to see the doctor. And by March, I still hadn't seen him. And I sent this in more than one of these. But March 29th, they sent me to see the eye doctor. He gave me an examination, and then he told me that it would be 2 weeks, and I'd get an appointment to come in and pick out frames. I've never heard of a system like that. That I thought you picked your frames out today you took your eye exam. But to make a long story short, even though I kept writing in, it took 45 days for me to get the docket to go pick out frames. And when I did, they had maybe 6,000 frames you can choose from. And I chose the frames that I wanted. And then you have to sign a piece of paper saying that you agree that if you don't get the frame you wanted, if they're out of this style, then you will take another color. It also said that it would take 2 to 3 months to get the glasses. Was it 2? Yes, on the paperwork it said 2 to 3 months to get glasses. So, how is this better treatment. It takes from 6 to 8 months to get a pair of glasses. 45 days to go pick out a frame. This is, when I'm in the streets, I don't have that acid reflux, that heartburn. But every time I'm locked in these facilities, the food I eat, and I can't detox myself and eat my own food, I get this bad heartburn. And years ago, in 2015, the doctor had told me that I had a hiatal hernia. And no antacids, none of that other stuff would work. That oprevazine was the only thing that would help. And I would take them 2 times a day. Once in the morning, once at night. Because at night I get the bad heartburn where I can't sleep. I throw up. I've tried all this changing my food, sitting up at night. You know it's uncomfortable trying to sleep sitting up. And then I throw up blood. So they had given it to me after some fighting with them at West Valley. But when I got to CCIW, they wouldn't give it to me. So I had to file this appeal for them. This healthcare grievance. So they denied me. But when I said I was taking it to the 2nd level and said that if you check my medical history, you'll see that I've always had this problem and I've always had to take 2 doses. So they gave them to me. And then 3 months later, I got a ducket from the medical saying that show up at the doctor. I got there, these Nazi doctors said that in order to continue my Prevazone, that I'd have to take some more examination. It's all about the money. So they wanted bill for these medical examinations. And I told them no. I said, you have my medical history. This grievance shows that I was taking 2 doses a day. So why do I need to take all these examinations and tests and stuff, all those cameras going down there? Oh, I said no. So I told him, I said, well, if I have to do that, if you don't give me the 2, because he had dropped it down to 1, if you don't give me the 2, I will grieve it. But he told me my 1 pill will be there at the medical place we pick up our medications, inmate place, that morning. So I go there to pick up the 1 pill, and the nurse tells me that the doctor wasn't giving me anything. He had cut them off. He had cut my medication off. Now, totally. On the thing she read it said, he cut it off because I said I was going to peel it. I said, he can't do that. That's retaliation. How is a doctor, then I told him that I could possibly bleed. How are you going to cut my medications off totally because I said I was going to grieve it? So I did start the grieving process, and they knew it. So they called me in, the nurse called me in, and they started giving me the 1 again. They just stop people medication at the drop of a hat. No matter what effect it might have on you, there's so many people there, inmates. Porsche, they took her off her medications, and she wound up. She was walking, and they took her off medications, and she wound up being in a wheelchair. They don't care. They don't care what effects it has on you. They just cut people's medication off with no advance notice. You go to pick up your medication, it says being discontinued. These things are so evil. Well, my thing with prison office, they said they won this civil rights lawsuit. And they were monitoring these prisons. But if our medical and dinner has got better, I can't see it. And they're being monitored by the courts. And this is the stuff they're still doing. So I wrote prison law office. I sent them several letters about what was going on there. And they kept continuing to tell me they couldn't help. They could not help. And I thought this one of the, when I put the grievance in about the food, the head cook, Mr. McSwing, told me, yeah, I said, I know y'all been monitored, you're not going to check. Well, we've been monitored for years. And I looked on the paper, they've been under court monitoring since 2002. And under court monitoring, the conditions has gotten worse in these facilities. But they put money aside in the lawsuits for these places to be monitored. But again, the conditions have gotten worse. And one thing is that when inmates want to grieve now and file a lawsuit and contact lawyers about the human rights violations in there, under this court monitoring, that system has gotten worse. They make it hard for inmates to report what's going on. Isn't that something? All these years under court monitoring, the conditions have gotten worse, and they make it harder, I'd say it again, for the inmates to file grievances and report the conditions. I'm going to talk a little more about that prison law office, who's supposed to be working for the prison's right, but really is working. Those courts, those lawyers are really working for this evil system.